Okay, so we are back doing this live mixing thing with just stock plugins from the Cubase Art series. Here's where we kind of went left off. It's just drums and bass at this point. So yeah, guitars are untouched, vocals are untouched, and there's no master processing, all that stuff. Um, Over the time between this video and whenever I finished the last video, I have listened to this song and there's a couple of things that I want to change. Like I'm going to turn down my snare just a couple of dBm at -1 right there. I'm going to turn it down to almost -4. And then I've also noticed that my toms have just a junk ton of bleed in them. So if we listen here, it's just especially in this low tom. So right off the bat, I'm going to try something. And if it doesn't work, then I'm just going to replace the toms with the sample before we really get to work on the guitars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate these two tracks. No, actually, I did want to keep them right there. And I'm going to name this one high and tom 2 high. Okay. So let's take a look real quick at my mixer window. I've got my toms all right here. Let's do that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Studio EQ and I am going to cut it until I no longer hear that annoying bleed. About 1.3, I'm going to go a little bit lower. So 979 with a cut of 4.4. And I'm going to do the same cut over here, bypass U. So now, whenever I blend these two together, now I can take this one and I'm going to bring you back so that I get some extra crispy top end, but still like shave off a little bit of the cymbals. And even then, that's not great. So I'm going to tighten up this edit right here. Turn off my cut. So this one should just be very, very quick transient. And now I can bring it up a little bit more. So I got the attack of this guy, I got the body and resonance of this one, which is in the tone of that one, which is what I really want. And let's see if I can just do a quick A-B. I think that's a lot cleaner. So I like that. I'm going to have to go through and shorten up all of those edits as I get to them. But I think that'll work. So it's almost all transient on the high end. Okay, and I'll worry about the edits later. I just wanted to kind of proof of concept it. So now let's go ahead and do the other one, the other tom. Studio EQ. Cut. Just all the way down. Same thing. Okay. .1 and cut. And leave you right about there. So that's kind of where I'm landing at this point. I want to see how just this all sounds. Way better. Okay, and then let's see if I can bring you up just a hair more and a hair more, a hair more. Mostly okay. Again, it's one of those things where I have to kind of go through and dial in just how much of the transient or how much of the actual top, the high of the tom gets through. Oh yeah, perfect. Where's that spot? There it is. Dial you in a little harder. Dial you in a little tighter. Done, done, done. Okay. So I'm much happier with my drums. The other thing I want to do with my snare is add a little bit more brightness to it. Okay. All right, I like where everything's sitting so far. Let's talk guitars. So this is my main guitar. just one performance. It's like a direct mic, and then like also a room mic or maybe a ribbon mic. Completely different. So here's my direct mic. And then here's my room mic. At least that's what I think they are. But if I space them out a little bit, if I spread them out left and right, they do give a pretty cool width to it. So let's see what I can do. And I need to brighten these the hell up. I like stacking EQs. I wish I had a dynamic EQ in here. That's okay. We need a little bit more brightness. That's okay. So I like where that guitar is sitting.
Get fooled by the pictures, imagination injures, and a chance I...
Yeah, way better. Okay, so let's listen to this guy. Definitely do not need any of that. And let's brighten you up a whole bunch. Give it some note. Nope. Change my settings so that I'm only using the default stuff.
with the one that was easy, should never be exceeded. And it's not caught in my head.
Okay, I'm going to change that real quick. So I, in my plugin manager, I have my normal collection, and then I created just the normal, like the I've deleted what I don't need for this sort of thing, and that keeps me from getting into trouble using plugins I'm not supposed to, at least on this. Okay, so that's where I'm at for the guitars. Let's get some quadrifuzz going.
By the pictures,
Just to get a little bit of juice.
imagination injures, and a chance I would have stayed with the one that was easy, should never be exceeded.
but I do like that. Like it's brighter, it's more in your face, it's a little bit more aggressive. Let's add a little bit of reverb just to help put it in a space. Let's see what we got on some. Let's do some ambient warm. Why not? See what they do to this. Yeah, I kind of like that. Not too big, but it gives it some nice depth and space and smooths off the top a little bit.
I get fooled by the pictures imagined.
Do I want to create some fake stereo width though? Some additional fake stereo width, and I might. So I'm going to see what I can do with the stereo delay. And I'm going to turn this completely dry. Turn that completely wet. And I'm going to have this set to, let's try 20 milliseconds. And turn off the filters.
I get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, and a chance.
Alright. Do you hear that? So, listening to headphones, listening to a studio monitor, it's just like going from here to here with the guitars and the width. So without the delay, it's just.
I would have stayed with the one that was easy to never be exceeded. And it thoughts caught in my head.
Cool. I like that. Should I lo-fi it a little bit? Should I throw a little bit more distortion on it? This is a tough because there's a lot of ways you can go with it. I might just shave off down to here with it and make it a little bit more lo-fi.
And it thoughts caught in my head.
Yeah.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song.
Yeah, I like where that's sitting so far. Now, let's listen to these rhythm guitars. Cool. It's probably the same cab setup. I'm going to copy you. I'm going to copy you. And I might as well copy you too. Nope. What did I mess up? I messed up something. That's what I wanted. Okay. But I also want a bigger reverb and a bigger delay, at least more prominent. So you're going to actually sync up. You're going to sync up. And you're going to be a quarter. And you're going to be a dotted eighth note. Something like that. 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 And then Revelation, you're going to have a higher mix. I think I want to distort it a little bit more. I'm going to get a little bit angry with the distortion. Yeah, I like that. It just makes it a little bit nastier and a little bit more, I don't want to say vibey, but yeah, vibey. I think that's kind of what I'm going for here. And just, yeah, hit you in the face a little harder. And then I'm going to take my main guitar and I'm going to automate it down a few dB. And then you get drawn down here. Something like that. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I feel really good about that, actually. Do I need a little bit more of a filter down here? Like, it might be hitting a little hard around 5K. I don't know. Oh man, maybe it could use some phaser. I'm going to put that. Where do I want the phaser to go? I think the phaser might have to go here. It just needs something. Maybe a chorus. Nope, not chopper. It needs a little something more. Something big and wide, I think. Yeah, I think that fits the kind of more the vibe that I'm going for. It smoothed it out a little bit. It made it a little wet and weird and all that jazz. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're ready to move on to vocals, at least for the time being. Simple song, simple session. Vocals, you get quadrifuzz right to start. Single band recording. Oh no, we're gonna record. I think tube. I think tube hits a little bit better for vocals because I want this to be kind of lo-fied and distorted and ugly.
I get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, and a chance I would have stayed with the one that was easy, should never be exceeded. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all.
Okay, that works. I want to do the studio EQ after it, and this is where I'll do filtering. Something like that. And probably more something like that.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all.
It's nice and lo-fi, because I mean, this is an older sound, like it's got the character of being old and garagey and vintage and distorted and ugly. So that's kind of what I'm trying to bring out here.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all.
Okay, and now compressing. I'm going to use the vintage compressor on this one, just because it actually works decently on vocals. It's not my favorite compressor of the bunch, but it's all right. So let's hear what it can do.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all.
Cool. I kind of like where that's feeling right there. I'm going to hit it with the de-esser. Just because there was a word in that second half.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word it's all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never.
Okay, let's de-est a little bit more. So let's listen back at the very beginning.
I get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, and a chance I would have stayed with the one that was easy, should never be exceeded. And it's thoughts caught in my head. Perfection is a ghost that holds your.
Okay, I like that, and I'm just gonna copy you over there to this single backing vocal. Do I have this panned out a little bit? Yeah, I do. Okay. let's add some reverbs and delays to these two tracks. So effects channel. So I want a long ass plate reverb, a big room, a short room, a kind of an eighth note delay, maybe, or quarter note delay, and then a slap delay. Five things. So let's see, it's going to be Vox plate, Vox big room, Vox small room, Vox eighth delay, Vox slap delay. And I'm just going to kind of mix and match and see what works. That way I can dial in a weird sound. And if one of these things doesn't work, I just don't use it. I just like having the option there. So my Vox plate, I'm going to use Revelation. Because of course I am. And I think they have a plate in here. It'd be useful if I could spell. Okay, so we got a plate. Just using that plate preset. Revelation again for my big room. And let's see what they have in here for large studio. I want like a cathedral, I think. Church, chamber, cathedral dark, or chamber, early reflections dark, complex echoes, concert, chamber, warm. Yeah, let's do that one. Revelation again, because that's what I'm stuck with. And on this one, I want something kind of small or medium. Let's do a medium. And then I can fix things from there. Okay, and then for my eighth note delay, I'm going to do... What am I going to do for my eighth note delay? That's okay. So, this is a trick. I'm going to do it. I like dotted eighth notes. I don't know why. Feedback somewhere like right there and right there. Just because they're kind of weird and funky. But with this dotted eighth note, even though it's a mono delay, I'm going to use my stereo delay to make it not be perfectly on the point. And actually I'm going to put it like 60, 70%. So I'm going to have this set to like a 3 millisecond delay and this set to like a 7 millisecond delay. So it's an eighth note, but then like shifted back a little bit and offset. So it's like an eighth note or a dotted eighth note and then a little bit. So it doesn't fall right on the beat or even on the dotted beat. And then I'm going to filter you out. So that it's basically, yeah, just a band pass on there. And I'm going to do that with all of these. Just because why not? And my slap delay is going to be my stereo delay with just a little bit, 100%, 100%. And you're going to be like 55 milliseconds on one side and 65 on the other side. And also band passed. So this is where it starts getting weird. We start having to do some troubleshooting and testing.
When she's looking like a million. Anticipate the feeling.
Cool.
Of a heart on the ground. Well, ain't it like they tell ya when you're the kind of fella that you ain't gonna change. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. When she's looking like a million. Anticipate the feeling of a heart on the ground. Well, ain't it like they tell ya when you're the kind of fella that you ain't gonna change. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. When she's looking like a million. Anticipate the feeling of a heart on the ground.
Oh, you know what I have to do now? Let's pull all of these back. I have to distort everything. I have to quadrifuzz it. Because, yeah, I love quadrifuzz. It's the vibe.
When she's looking like a million. Anticipate the feeling of a heart on the ground. Well, ain't it like they tell ya when you're the kind of fella that you ain't gonna change. Perfection is a ghost that holds.
I don't think I like the snare reverb. I'm going to see if I can find a concert hall, drum cave.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. When perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. When she's looking like
Okay, let's see where we're at so
like a
far.
million. Anticipate the feeling
A being everything.
of a heart on the ground. Well, ain't it like they tell ya when you're the kind of fella
yeah, this would be just faders only, except for I think that's an EQ right there. So faders only. Right, there we go. And then whenever I hit all of these buttons, it'll turn on all of the processing that we've done, including all of the sends with reverbs and the parallel compression. So here we are.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song. When she's looking like a million and
Cool. I feel pretty good about that. Obviously, like, there's probably some stuff that I should dial in a little bit more in detail, but like, it's pretty good, I think.
I get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, and a chance I would have stayed with the one that was easy. She'd never be exceeded. And thoughts caught in my head. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song.
Okay. So I'm going to turn up the kick drum just a hair. I'm going to turn down the overheads also just a hair. So yeah, I'm going to take a sip of wine with a fabulous cat on it. Let's do some master bus stuff. And on this one, I'm going to take all of these vocals and I'm going to send them to their own group track. All Vox. And that way I can do some more fun stuff to it if I want to, or I can adjust the overall levels. But I'm going to take that and that and that and that and that. Because those are the only things that are listed as stereo out. Yeah. And I'm going to send them to their own submix bus. So now everything should be controlled by this one fader. And I like to do this for a couple of reasons, but mostly right now so that my voiceover track doesn't hit the master compression and limiting stuff that I'm going to try to do on this session. Because this is all still running out the stereo bus. So, submix. First thing, yep, quadrifuzz. And again, it's just like a little bit of stuff. Let's do tube. Yeah.
I get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, and a chance.
And I can run it through the tape machine as well.
I get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, and a chance.
I actually kind of like that. Just a touch, just a little touch, and it's just very, very subtle, but I like it.
I get fooled by the.
It kind of smooths out the transients a little bit, just a hair, and makes it a little splattier. I like it. All right, compressor. And on this one, I'm gonna steal some SSL settings, and I want to go like right there, I guess. So typical SSL settings, 2:1 ratio, 30 millisecond attack, 100 millisecond release. And then we're going to dial in the compression to get like, I don't know, a few dB of gain reduction, like not a huge amount, but some.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song.
So you can hear on this, it tightens up the low end. Hope like pay attention to the low end and the kick drum especially. It just makes it less flabby on the bottom.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a
It just kind of focuses it a little bit. Okay, let's get some EQ going. Okay, on this one I'm going to do a cut, but I'm going to do a cut like right there. And then, oh, I can't make you a peak? That's stupid. Fucking stupid. Alright, whatever.
perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song.
So I just want to get rid of some extra rumbly stuff that you may hear.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song. Perfection is a ghost.
Something like that. Again, trying to do small, subtle moves. Because I'm just trying to enhance it a little bit more, make it a little bit hi-fi with that smiley face EQ. Let's see. And one thing I'm going to look at right now is this curve EQ, which on Cubase Artist you're not going to have this. But what you can do is go and download Voxingo Span, and that's the free version. That is all it does is a frequency analysis thing. So you can just, that's all I'm looking at is the frequency spectrum. I'm not looking at or I'm not trying to EQ anything. I just want to see how my overall frequency spectrum is laid out.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song. Perfection is a ghost that
I might actually try to turn up some of the low end on my bass guitar. Studio EQ.
perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hints a word its song.
Yeah, I mean, that's not terrible. Let's go back to my submix bus. So I don't like how much high frequency energy I'm getting. Usually you like to have a nice little roll off, or at least I try to. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in a cut peak mode, but I'm going to put it up to like right there.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song.
And that's going to hopefully shave out, like if I look at this.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song.
Okay, cool. I like how that's sitting. My frequency response is pretty flat. Now, the hard part of using complete stock plugins is getting the loudness that you would get from from a mastering engineer. So if you're just starting on mixing, focus on this, and then I would honest to God, I would just send it off to one of those AI mastering things, like Lander or whatever it is, or find somebody who can has spent money on gear to do loudness, or just actually buy a decent limiter plug-in. That's all you need. Well, for the time being, that's all you need. But we're going to see what we can do with the Cubase tool. So I think we've got a maximizer here. And I'm going to do something like this, and it's going to get loud.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in.
And then, where's my brick wall limiter? And it's going to hit, let's hit it minus 0.4. It doesn't really matter.
Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word in song.
And actually, that's not terrible. I was expecting it to be much, much worse. But overall, I think that's doable for a master. Again, at least to get your stuff listened to and people not thinking that it's complete, utter garbage, in my opinion. So we're going to play this from top to bottom, and after this, I'm just going to print this down and listen to it in my car and see if it sucks. Yeah. So listen with me and enjoy.
Get fooled by the pictures, imagination, interest, any chance I would have stayed with the one million anticipate the feeling of a heart on the ground. Well, ain't it like, they tell ya when you're the kind of fella that you ain't gonna change. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. Perfection is a ghost that holds your money close and never hits a word at all. All right.
Cool. I feel pretty good about that. There's some spots where I would want to do some automation, basically just turning down some of the delays in the vocals. Like I think there was something over here that was cool for a second, but then like the next part, I wanted that delay to be a little bit lower. So there's just gonna be some overall automation left that I'd still want to do, even though I have done bits and pieces here and there, like just going through and doing some fine tuning detail work, but it's nothing that's like I just care to fix right now. So some plugins that I would love to have now after doing all of this. Um, some sort of bus compressor, like an actual SSL bus compressor, um, would be good, or something that's an SSL bus compressor, like the Brainworks Townhouse or the Slate VBC Gray, or literally anything, like anything that's supposed to be a bus compressor would be really, really helpful. I wish to God that I had my frequency EQ back. If you don't use Cubase and you're using a different program, uh, the FabFilter Pro Q3 is super cute, is super cool. Um, I do enjoy an SSL channel strip, um, just because it's got some character and vibe built into it that you don't get from the clean stuff, which is why I use Quadrafuzz everywhere. Um, Also a good saturation plugin. Um, I would also really, really like to have better reverbs. I'm not dissatisfied right here, um, but reverbs that are a little bit more user friendly. Like if I open up this thing, half of this stuff I don't know what it means. Like I just kind of assume that I rely on presets really, really heavily here, and something like Valhalla Room. Let me bring up other my real deal plugins, my full collection. Valhalla Room. Something like this makes a little bit more sense to me. At least I know, like, this is my decay times in seconds, and this is my pre-delay in seconds. Just those two features are really good. Plus, this is a good sounding reverb. So, either the Valhalla Room or the Valhalla Vintage Verb, I think would be two great plugins for a beginner to get right off the bat. A cheap SSL channel strip, like you can get the Waves SSL channel for like $30, and then a bus compressor like Cytomix the Glue if you can afford it, or I use the Brainworks Townhouse. This one frequency, and I love it. It's my go-to master bus compressor. Like everything else, just kind of I use at random. Eh. I would also recommend an 1176 style plugin because I really like those on vocals, and that's why I used the vintage compressor. I really like an 1176 style compressor on vocals. Um, Beyond that, I don't know. I think with those couple of things, I could do a lot of damage, more so and better than I've done here. Oh yeah, I also would um, like ozone. I think we're in ozone 9 now, or just something that's like mastering specific, um, and maybe like a multi-function thing, right? You can do a ton of stuff in here in ozone. Um, let's see. What else is there that I would really love? Oh yeah, a multi-band compressor like Wave C4. So let's run an inventory. Wave C4, or multi-band compressor, an 1176 style compressor, a mastering compressor, a bus compressor, an SSL channel strip, and a full featured clean EQ like FabFilter Pro Q3, or if you're running Cubase, the frequency EQ. Like those 6 things. 7 things, because reverbs. Good reverbs. There we go. Done. I should write this stuff down more often so I don't have to try to remember it as I go. But yeah, those 8 things, if you can remember it with me, is all you need. Cool. Well, I hope this has been fun for you. I'm going to go ahead and print this down. Learn your quick keys and have fun mixing. Hit me up with any questions. I've been Alex. This has been fun. I'll see you next time whenever I do something else because I'm bored.